Good evening. I'd like to call the August 30th, 2021 meeting of the Goldsboro Planning Commission to order at this time. Our first item on the agenda this evening will be approval of minutes from the July 26th, 2021 meeting. If I could have a motion to that effect, please.
Make a motion to pass amendments.
Okay, Mr. Reed makes a motion to accept the minutes for approval as presented by staff. That's seconded by Ms. Barnett. All in favor of that motion, let it be known by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. The motion carries. The minutes are approved. And at this time, we have two Board of Adjustment items that we need to handle. So we will suspend the Planning Commission proceedings at this time in order to handle item 2A and 2B on the agenda, which are our Board of Adjustment items. At the conclusion of those two items and that business for the Board of Adjustment, then we will resume our duties as the Planning Commission to handle the rest of the agenda. And I think all of the agenda this evening will be presented by our Assistant Planning Director, Kenny Talton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are going to at least start on our two variance requests and the rezoning request. I know our Director, Jennifer Collins, she is going to be here any minute to take over the Planning Commission member recommendation. So we'll go ahead and get started. Good to see everyone tonight. Let's see if everybody can see. That is our agenda, which you have a copy of. As Ms. Smith, our administrative executive assistant, pointed out, we did have a couple of corrections we needed to make to an address on one of the variances, and there was some other information we decided we needed to correct as well. So glad you have your packets in front of you. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll go ahead and start with A5-21, Henry Morrison. These two properties are located on the corner of East Ash Street and Taylor Street, specifically known as 304 North Taylor and 1901 East Ash Street. Let's see here. So, as you see here, subject property is located on the east side of North Taylor Street between East Ash and Peach Street. The Wayne County tax identification number is as follows. Property consists of two existing brick veneer single-story structures currently used for commercial purposes and located on one parcel of property. Property is located in the Neighborhood Business Zoning District. Applicant is requesting a variance of the city's general use district dimensional tables standards to include setbacks and lot width and area. If approved, the applicant proposes to subdivide the property into 2 lots. Lots will continue to be used for commercial purposes. We have a submitted preliminary plat for the subdivision, as you see here. The applicant has submitted the proposed plat, which cannot be approved without the specified variances being granted by the Board of Adjustment. The properties consist of the following. Lot number one is 1901 East Ash Street there on the corner. A variance request is being sought from the front setback requirement of 30 feet to 8.74 feet along North Taylor. A side setback variance from 15 feet to 8 feet. A rear setback requirement from 25 feet to 2.8 feet. The lot number 2, which is 304 North Taylor, just north of that property, there's a rear setback requirement of 25 feet. Variance request is to 9.01, and there's an accessory structure setback from 5 feet to 1.59. The subject property is located within the city limits of Goldsboro and has existed prior to the adoption of the city's Unified Development Code. City water and sewer are available to serve the property. The property is not located within a special flood hazard area. And again, it is located within the Neighborhood Business Zoning District. Setbacks for the zoning district neighborhood business are front 30, rear 25, side 15. There is no minimum lot width or minimum lot area. As usual, variances as stipulated in North Carolina General Statute section. I'll read this one time. When unnecessary hardships would result from carrying out the strict letter of the zoning ordinance, the Board of Adjustment shall vary any of the provisions of the ordinance upon a showing of all of the following. Number 1, the unnecessary hardship would result from the strict application of the ordinance. Number 2, the hardship results from conditions that are peculiar to the property, such as location, size, or topography. Number 3, the hardship does not result from actions taken by the applicant or property owner. Number 4, the requested variance is consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the ordinance, such that public safety is secured and substantial justice is achieved. So with this first variance request, the city staff make the following findings of facts as it relates to the variance request. For the lot number 1, again, unnecessary hardship will result from strict application of the ordinance. The finding was that the existing structure was built prior to the adoption of the city's Unified Development Code. Number 2, that the hardship results from conditions that are peculiar to the property. Number 3, the hardship does not result from actions taken by the property owner. And number 4, that the requested variance is consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the ordinance. Lot number 2, basically these two properties mirror one another in regards to their hardship qualification. Again, the finding is that the property was built prior to the adoption of the city's Unified Development Code. Number 2, that the hardship results from conditions that are peculiar to the property. Number 3, that the hardship does not result from actions taken by the property owner. And 4, that the requested variances are consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the ordinance. So, staff conclusion is that the Well, what we have done is set forth, each one, each variance request, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Unless you have any questions, you can debate or take up each one of these variance requests. If you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer it. And we'll move on to the next one at that. Let me just show you the property real quick. Here it is, you see, Lifetime Windows has been there for quite a while on the corner. Just directly to the north is the other property there, which again has also been used for commercial purposes in the past.
Is that the A621?
This is the A521.
Both of those pictures are the A521.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't have the map or anything in my packet for these. Was that intentional? I mean, all I have is just the wording. I mean, I realize it's on the screen, but I didn't see it in my packet.
Yes, sir, that is intentional.
Okay. So I guess then it's just that the applicant is wishing to make this conforming since it's non-conforming without the variance.
Well, to some degree, yes, sir. Right now, it is a non-conforming use of the property, having 2 commercial properties on 1 lot. It's not going to be totally conforming because there are variance requests that are being made with regards to setbacks. It may not be conforming, but it's better than what it was with regards to separating it into 2 slots. Each principal building occupying its own lot.
So if you back up a picture,
Yes, sir.
then that picture was taken. Okay, I see what was confusing to me to start with. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
the second picture was from Taylor Street.
Right.
I got you.
That
Okay.
is correct, yes, sir. That is
Okay.
correct.
That's all the questions that
Yes,
I
sir.
have.
Yes, sir.
Is there any questions or comments? If not, we'll take a motion on this item, and if somebody makes a motion, bear in mind that you'll need to make the motion and acknowledge all 4 of the criteria that your motion will be for all 4 of those. And I'll clean it up and present it, so to speak.
Okay, well, I want to make a motion to, on 1901 East Ash Street, make a motion to approve on items 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Perfect. Do we have a second to that motion?
A second.
Okay. Mr. Slater makes a motion that we approve item A5-21 as presented by staff, and that it is in harmony with and consistent with the rules and regulations as it relates to the findings of fact for all 4 of those items, and that's seconded by Mr. Reed. All in favor of that motion, let it be known by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries, and the item is approved.
Move now forward to A621. Again, same applicant, similar goals for subdividing the property into 2 individual lots. These happen to be residential lots. So this subject property is located on the east side of Pineview Avenue, south of East Ash and North Pineview Avenue intersection.
Jimmy,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, did we need to also for lot 2 for 304 North Taylor Street?
I was wondering if I missed that or not. Well, did we do that? So, Chairman, Mrs. Smith, she has brought up, we did the first lot 1 request for A5, but we had another lot also that had a request too. So we
Okay.
could back up to
Absolutely.
A5-21.
So we'll need to do the same for both since it's a subdivided, so we need,
Yes, sir.
because technically I guess it would be possible to deny one side or
That's
something.
exactly
Okay.
right.
So then the motion and second that we had would have been on the 1901 East Ash Street side of A5-21. So now we'll need a motion for the 304 North Taylor side of A5-21.
That is
Would you
correct.
make the same motion?
Sure.
Mr. Slater and Mr. Reed, would you second that same motion as presented?
I will.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, all in favor of that motion, let it be known by stating aye.
aye.
Opposed, same, and motion carries, and the Taylor Street side of that A521 is approved.
Very good. Thank you so much, Rachel. Okay, so moving forward to A621. Property consists of two existing single-family dwellings on one parcel of property. Property is located in the office and institutional zoning district. Applicant is requesting a variance of the city's dimensional table standards to include setback, lot width, and area. Again, if approved, the applicant proposes to subdivide the property into two lots. The lots will continue to be used for residential purposes. Applicant has submitted a proposed preliminary subdivision plat, which cannot be approved without the specified variances approved by the Goldsboro Board of Adjustment. Properties consist of the following tracts or lots. So you have lot 2, I'm going to begin with, will be the actual top lot there, one at the intersection, or at the T intersection. Front setback from 30 to 29.63. Corner side setback from 20 feet to 4.83. Rear setback from 25 feet to 21.33 feet. And the minimum lot size from 9,000 to 8,633 square feet. Lot 1, just south of the other lot, the setback request, variance request is the front setback from 30 feet to 14.76 feet, an accessory structure from 5 feet to 4.79 feet, and the minimum lot size from 9,000 square feet to 7,642. Property is located in the city of Goldsboro's corporate limits. It did exist as such prior to the adoption of the city's Unified Development Code. City water and sewer are available to serve the property. They are not located in a special flood hazard area. As previously stated, the subject property is located within the O&I zoning district used for residential purposes, whereas the most restrictive zoning district development standards would apply, which is the R9 zoning district. As such, those setbacks are front 30, rear 25, side 10 feet, corner side 20 feet, minimum lot width 70 feet, minimum lot area 9,000 square feet. Moving along to page 3, the findings of facts. The city makes the findings of fact, the following findings of fact in this variance request. So for lot 1, which that should be really 2 on our preliminary plat, out the north is the front setback from 30 to 29.9. Well, we've already gone through that, but the finding is that the existing single-family dwelling was built prior to the adoption of the city's UDO. Number 2, the hardship results from conditions that are peculiar to the property, such as location, size, and topography. Number 3, the hardship does not result from actions taken by the property owner. Number 4, the requested variances are consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the ordinance. Moving along to lot 1, which is one just south of that intersection. That should 208, 210. The front setback, let's see, going on to number 1, unless it's the existing single-family dwelling was built prior to the adoption of the city's UDO. Number 2, the hardship results from conditions that are peculiar to the property. 3, the hardship does not result from actions taken by the property owner. And number 4, the requested variances are consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the ordinance, such that public safety is secured and substantial justice is achieved. Chairman, unless there's any questions, please let me know. If not, the floor is yours.
All right.
Here are some pictures. There is the lot 2 on Ash Street. Lot 1 directly south of it on Pine View.
Okay.
All right.
All right, same scenario as the previous item before us. I'd like to make a motion.
All right, I'll make a motion that we accept and approve the 1200 East Ash Street as well as 208 and 210 Pineview. And I approve number 1, 2, 3, and 4 on both properties.
Okay,
I second.
I have a second to that. And that, the Pine View should have been 209 for the update.
Actually, 208 and 210.
208, 208, and 210.
Is that wrong?
Okay. I would just say what he said, but, okay, so Mr. Slater makes a motion, that we accept and approve item A621 for both the 1200 East Ash Street as well as the Pine View addresses, even though that's two separate parcels. His motion is to approve both of those, and that each of those two properties are consistent within the spirit, purpose, and intent of the ordinance, and they are in harmony as well as conforming to the findings of fact. And that is seconded by Mr. Reed on both of those properties within A621. All in favor of that motion, let it be known by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. And motion carries. Is that good enough, the way that, okay.
All right, we'll move on to our rezoning case for tonight. We'll be removing your Board of Adjustment hats, putting on your Planning Commission hats, as the chairman stated earlier. So this is a rezoning request by Mr. Paul Vincent III. He is looking at a piece of property. As you see here, trying to draw attention to it, the property is this piece here outlined in red. And as you see, the property is cut down the middle. There is a zoning line that divides the property into two zoning districts, general business and highway business. His request is to rezone the entire parcel to GB. Of course, GB is one of the most, has the most widest array of uses with regards to zoning districts in the city of Goldsboro. Again, at this time, he has no plans for development of the property. He's just seeking a rezoning request to maintain consistency for the rest of the property. So, the majority of the property is zoned highway business. A portion of the property is zoned general business. Applicant is requesting to rezone the entire property to general business for commercial development purposes. If the property is rezoned, site and landscape plans will be required and approved by city officials before construction permits can be issued in the future. Existing use, the subject property is clear and vacant. The city's land use plan recommends commercial development for the property. Subject property is not located in a special flood hazard area. City water and sewer utilities are available to serve the property. At the public hearing on August 16th, an adjacent property owner spoke with concerns regarding future development and type of development. No other person spoke for or against the rezoning request. At this time, again, according to the knowledge I have, Mr. Vincent has no plans at this time. He's not required to have any with regards to this conventional rezoning request. That is a picture of the property located at the corner of William on your right, 11th Street there on your left. And it extends all the way past the large tree open to that open space there. So, are there any questions regarding? If not,
I don't have any. I don't see anything wrong with the request, regardless of what the sales status is. It seems the applicant's just trying to get the same zoning off on the entire parcel instead of it being split into two.
yes, sir.
Seems like a reasonable request to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any questions of staff or comments? If not, we'll take a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Ms. Barnett makes a motion to approve item Z921 as presented by staff. That's seconded by Mr. Slater. All in favor of that motion, let it be known by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. The motion carries, and that item is approved. And I believe item 4 on the agenda will be presented by our planning director, Ms. Collins.
Thank you.
Good evening. I got a little housekeeping for you guys. And ladies. At the next council meeting on the 7th, they will have boards and commissions up for discussion. And there are several boards that the council appoints members to, and they have vacancies, and the planning commission is one. And as you know, we had Jay Bauer representing District 1 who recently resigned. So therefore, we are seeking for an appointment of a planning commission member. So we have received 4 applications for our vacancy. These kind of stay on file as they're submitted. So it's not, I'm not saying we immediately advertise, so to speak. It's just a matter of we have these on file. And I'm going to pass them out to you. What I'm looking for from the board tonight is a recommendation among these 4. One, that doesn't mean city council will take the planning commission recommendation, but the city clerk does like to recommend, or at least indicate to the council what the planning board's recommendation would be for that vacancy. So I'm gonna pass these out real quick.
Is the council district for the applicants listed on the paper, on the application?
So the very first sheet that I give you is the sheet that city council will see on the 7th.
Okay.
And you'll look all the way to the end. You'll see planning commission column, and that'll be all the way to the.
I see it. Okay.
And you'll see the planning commission column, and that shows you the 4 and what their district that they're in. Your current makeup of the planning commission is you have a representative. Ms. Rojas is District 3. Jay Bauer was District 1. Ms. Barnett is District 4. Mr. Boyette 2. Anthony Slater, or Bishop Slater is 5. And then, of course, Mr. Reed and Mr. Waters are the appointed members from the council from the county commissioners representing our ETJ. So it's not normally evenly distributed amongst our districts, because obviously we have 6 districts and we have 5 appointed seats from the city council. In the past, the planning commission has made a recommendation. However, our city council has liked for it to be evenly distributed. This current city council has liked for the boards and commissions to have a district representative among each district. And as you can see, you do have an applicant there that represents District 6. We do not have a member of the planning commission for District 6 at this time, or District 1. But even in the event, we would always have one kind of not represented or trade off. It will never work out where we will have them all just because of the makeup of the board.
I understand. So can we have a minute to look over this,
Absolutely.
and then we'll have a recommendation?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
perfect.
Take your time. I don't have any input. It's mainly amongst yourselves. My only input or recommendation would be possibly a District 6 representative on the board.
Okay.
Just a bit of information, when people apply for boards and commissions, they indicate their first, second, and third choices when applying for them. So that's why you have the 4 amongst you with planning commission, because it was their first choice on their applications.
don't recall in all my years us reaching a decision on a member to be carried out in this fashion, but there's first time for everything, so. And looking over my comment, I guess, and looking over what's in front of us here, I don't see any one of the applicants that particularly looks to be any more qualified than another. Basically what I see is some 4 applications of someone that's willing to serve and be involved in their community, which is greatly appreciated. The more people that want to be involved, the more of an opportunity we have to accomplish things. It appears that the applicant, Kevin Brown, is the only applicant that we have that is in a district that's currently not represented on the planning commission at this time. So for no other reason, that would be my choice, would be the applicant, Kevin Brown. Planning commission was his first choice. So that would be my recommendation, would be Kevin Brown based on his residency in District 6.
Which district was Mr. Bauer?
1.
He was 1.
But as you can see, of course, there's not an applicant from 1. So I think 1 or 6 would have been what I would have sort of been looking for. So. Do we need to put that to a vote, or is it just need to be, you need to hear each?
It needs to be by
Okay.
motion and second.
Okay.
Well, for that reason, I think you make a valid point. Him being in District 6, I would vote Kevin Brown as well.
I agree.
Okay. Okay, well, then we have a unanimous consensus for the Planning Commission's recommendation to the City Council would be the applicant Kevin Brown from District 6.
Thank you. Before we move to the upcoming public hearings, can any of you recall if you have completed your disclosure form for this year? Does
I've
that
done
ring a
mine.
bell with anyone?
I remember seeing
I've
an
done mine.
email about it.
Okay.
I think
Can
I
we complete
completed
it
mine.
online?
Okay, I had forms just in case, but if you think you have, then we're good. I'll check with the city clerk.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I recall on mine because there was some conversation with the clerk and someone on planning staff about that it was okay that for my submission, I just submitted something in writing that said there had been no changes
No change form, okay.
in any information that was already on file from the previous year. So I
Okay.
didn't have to go all the way back through doing all that
Okay.
again.
Okay. Well, if we see that if we don't have them on file, we may send you something and ask you to complete it and send it back to us. So if you were to receive that. And I would just want to indicate that upcoming in September at your public hearings, you will have a UDO text amendment request. That is coming from Wayne County in conjunction with the Wayne County Development Alliance. There's a potential buyer or business that is wanting to go into the, what do we refer to that as, Goldsboro Business Park?
Park East.
Park East, out there off Oak Forest Road. There's a business park out there. It is zoned industrial business park. It's the only industrial business park zoning we have in the city. When that was put into place, it was pretty much done in conjunction with the covenants of that business park. And they have, there's an existing shell building out there, and they have a potential client or buyer for that. That is, the use is chemical products manufacturing. And currently that is not a use within our permitted use within that zoning district. So they are requesting a text amendment and to allow it by, with a special use permit. So it would still come back through city council and the planning commission for that in the event that you do approve or recommend approval of the text amendment. And then we do have a place of entertainment with ABC permits. It's a hookah lounge, and it is downtown, and it's right here off Mulberry Street. If you were familiar with the Adams Roadside Barbecue, it's that location. And then I would just like to say this is my last planning commission meeting, and I appreciate working with you all. It's been a pleasure, and I will still be able to assist Goldsboro and hopefully see many of you in transportation needs and growth, as I will be going with NCDOT. Last day is September the 17th, so I wanted to be able to come and say thank you for all your support and guidance through the years serving the city.
Awesome. And we all wish you the best in your future endeavors with DOT.
But you're in good hands. I have all the confidence in the world that Kenny's been guiding you guys for a long time now, so he's got it under control. He'll hold the fort down.
And I look forward to continuing to work with you on the MPO and the 70 Corridor Commission and all the other wheels that are turning out there. So.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If there's nothing else, we're adjourned.